And we are live. Welcome back, everybody, to episode 227. This will be a unique event this evening. We got a lot of our great friends all sitting here in one room, probably 10 of us right now, 4 or 5 of us that will be sharing our experience here at the Cult Culture Movement Retreat, the first of many, I should say. So stay tuned. Shoot, Mike, maybe you should have sat in here with me. Yeah. Stay tuned for these brief messages from our sponsors.
TC Packer. Roofing, siding, windows, gutter, solar. Roofing, siding, windows, gutter, solar. TC Packer.
This has been, no pun intended, has been one of the deepest things that I've got to experience to actually push me. And I'm a big advocate for, get comfortable being uncomfortable. And it's like, I almost pushed out. Thank you for everybody for tuning in. If you haven't liked, loved, subscribed, shared, please do that once we're finished with this show. But tonight is going to be a unique show. I'm sitting here with my good friends. I did say that plural. I do have more than one friend, I think. Rick Winkle to my right, Tim Brown to my left, Jack Ryan, and yours truly.
Yours truly.
Yeah, yours
Just call me yours truly.
Yeah. I think my head's a little soft from all that water.
Yep.
I feel like I'm starting to be able to say your last name.
Say it.
Oberumt?
Nope.
Fuck.
Nope.
Oberumt.
All right.
Just keep practicing.
What is yours?
It's here.
It's exactly how it's spelled.
Try it.
Oberembt.
Oberumt.
Oberemt.
Oberumt.
Yep. There you go.
Okay.
Cool.
Got it.
I think I just got it.
Eric Oberumt.
Yo, I think we decided that you can't say it due to your accent. Yeah. Yeah, Erico is fine. I had a license plate that said Erico for like 15 years that my grandpa got me, and I wouldn't get rid of it. Yeah, until I changed it to the authentic one that I have now.
So what are we doing here?
What are we doing here? Well, we're doing a lot of things. We decided to put a room together of high-level good men, and also so that we could network and collaborate and connect and have conversations, and then do the thing that I love to do, which is scuba dive. And I wanted to share that with the people that I give a shit about. And the cool part of today was that 4 guys that had never dove before became certified open water divers today. And yours truly being one of them, Ty. I said it before, but like, I'm super proud of all you guys for doing that. As somebody that, and Rick's here, and Rick's been diving since he was sperm, and like, so he's been diving for 87 years, but to be able to see new guys like take something up and then get out of the water and see some amazing things, and after a couple of days get so much more comfortable and overcoming those fears that they had in the beginning, whether it was drowning, with you, or it was, Tim with the mask thing and breathing, and I don't know what fears you had, but like, just to overcome those things together as a group and not alone, I think has power, right? And that was what I was trying to facilitate here. And I think it's exciting, and I'm looking forward to what the future holds. And I've been asked that question, right? Like, when is the next one? What are we doing? And I haven't decided, right? I'm figuring out what the next trip looks like, and how it's going to be organized, and what the agenda is going to be, and all that kind of stuff. But what I can say is the way that this has went with the vision that I had for this one so far, I'm happy, and I hope that everybody that's here is getting out of it what they hope for, indirectly or directly, right?
Well, I can tell you this. I don't want to miss one. Just sign me up.
You won't.
Yeah.
And you almost did.
I know.
Yeah, he almost didn't show up.
And I'm not afraid to admit that.
Yeah.
I almost let fear get in the way. So Saturday did the 6-hour thing in the pool, freaked out twice, went up top. One was that I didn't realize you could spit into the regulator. So I took on water, like taking it out and doing whatever they had us do with it. Like I freaked out and took a mouthful of water and was like, and went back up, and she came up with me, very, very patient woman, thank God. And she was like, what happened? I was like, well, I got a mouthful of water. I was like, I didn't know what to do with it. And she was like, you can cough in it, you can throw up in it, you just spit it right back out. I was like, oh, okay. Went back down, did a couple other things. I wigged over. I think I got some water in my nose, up my nose when I took off the mask. Went back up. She was like, what's up? I was like, I'm fine. Let's go back down. I just, being underwater for like 10 minutes like this is like freaking me out. You know, it wasn't really, I don't even think it was the water. Anyhow, left there, and I thought, I'm not going back Sunday. There's no way. This is just dumb. We're not meant to do this. Like, it goes against it goes against everything that I've been taught, from meditation to when I'm angry, breathe through your nose, out through your mouth, you know, count to 10, that stuff. So you're reprogramming your brain to breathe differently. Okay.
Yep, absolutely.
So I'm laying in bed Saturday night, and I'm thinking, what kind of person would I be if I signed up for something and not actually complete it? And I know everybody knows I'm doing this. My family, my team at work, you guys, you know, like everybody. I was like, what would it make me look like if one, I didn't commit to a commitment that I signed up for, and then secondly, there was a couple of things here. So the adversity part of it was, okay, if I can get through this, I'll be able to get through anything. But what kind of leader would I be? Because I consider myself a pretty good leader. If I can't do this, then I'm not as good as I think I am. And then I started thinking about too, it's like, well, I hang out with you crazy fuckers for a reason. And this is why I hang out with you guys.
Right.
Because most people that I hang out with aren't doing things like this. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so there's a reason why I hang out with you guys, is to push me to that next level. So all this shit's going through my mind. I can't sleep. It's Saturday night. Right. I know I got to go back there Sunday. Get there Sunday. And I thought to myself, dude, it's a swimming pool. You're not going to die. So I got through Sunday. I ground through that. A couple weeks went by. I called Eric the day before, 2 days.
3 days.
3 days before.
3 days before.
Yeah, that we were coming to this. I'm like, dude, I can't go. And I'm trying to come up with like a legit excuse.
I could even hear you reaching for excuses on the call. And I was like, you got any more?
It was good. You were
Yes.
afraid?
Yes.
Yeah.
Moral of the story is that I did not want to learn how to breathe underwater.
Mm.
And this goes back to, I had a situation that was pretty traumatic that I experienced when I was younger. I drowned, and I was saved, obviously, but that has stuck with me. And I love the water. I love being on the water. I love being around the water. I've snorkeled a little bit, which is kind of cool because I'm actually still on the water. But like anything deep down in like that, I've never done it because of that fear of drowning.
Right. Right.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it together.
That's incredible. I mean, it's just fucking badass.
It is.
It
That
is.
you drown your little, and you now know how to scuba dive. You're a scuba diver.
But I think the coolest thing is the fellowship and the camaraderie and the bond, right? Not just with the guys here, but us four that went
Yes.
through that, because we were buddies.
Yep.
Like theoretically and
Absolutely.
technically,
Absolutely.
we were buddies.
That was my hope and intention for this trip, was to have that happen. I didn't know who it would be or who it would be with, right? Like, I didn't know what group, like, I didn't know how it was going to occur, but like, that's what I wanted to happen. And like, you saying that is amazing. Before we go on, just in case, before they sign off, let's all say hi to Tegan, because she's been waiting for me to call.
Hey,
And Tegan, I'm sorry, sweetie, but as soon as I get done with this, I will call you before you go to bed. I love you. Okay. Sorry, go on.
The fellowship and the camaraderie. And then let's talk about like outside of that, even though that's like the deepest thing, one of the deepest things, this has been, no pun intended, has been one of the deepest things that I've got to experience to actually push me. And I'm a big advocate for, get comfortable being uncomfortable. And it's like, I almost pushed out. You know what I mean? And I'm the one that's pushing everybody every day, all the time. Like, you can do this. I know you can do this. You know what I mean? I'm the one that has faith in those people.
This is a different level of uncomfort.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We all the groups that we were a part of, and we do things, we push ourselves to be uncomfortable, but it's not life-threatening uncomfortable. It's not something that we could die at. It's just something that puts us out of our realm that we are uncomfortable in. This actually is something that, could be life-threatening, but it.
Oh,
Heard a lot
definitely.
about death the last
Oh
couple
man,
days. For real. That's
with
why
the
I
shark
wanted to-
today.
And then we had a shark. Yeah.
Right. But in a controlled environment, of being with friends and people you trust.
And guys that probably could punch a shark in the face.
You guys.
Oh, dude, the shark
everybody
was right
learned
by
to
your
fight
head.
through it.
Yeah.
And get to the other side. I mean, it took time, and it was for me. And I'm like Eric. It's amazing to watch new people come into this arena and go through the trials and tribulations to get to the other side. To go, it's not that bad. This works. Okay.
I never thought how much I'd enjoy that. I always thought of this as a very selfish endeavor for me, of how amazing the experience is, for me, that I've been doing it for almost a decade, over a decade now. And I always just thought about how I got to do really cool shit. Right. I never thought about the enjoyment that I would get from something like this, where I'd get to see other people come up. And it's like, why didn't I think of that? Because that's what we do every day in business, right? It's what we do every day in recovery. It's what we do. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing. So I don't know why I never thought of that before. But getting to experience it has been pretty magical.
Yeah. It's something, I've been doing it for a while. I've been doing this for a minute, and I still learn every time. All the time, I'm learning more things to make me a better diver, and I love passing it along and helping people become better divers. It's awesome to see it happen. It's like the switch gets thrown. As soon as it breaks free, the switch hits, and they're, it's like I said, the more these guys are excited about going there, there's no apprehension. It's like, let's get in the water. Let's do this.
When I saw Ty calm today, or calm-ish, calm adjacent, but when I saw you calm today, like, that just made my heart fill up. You know what I mean? Because like, I could actually see you smiling instead of shit. And I was like, oh, he's smiling now. You know what I mean?
We gotta tell this shark story. I know you guys are used to seeing sharks.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
But I have never seen a shark under the water. Jack, you want to tell us this story? Because this was freaking.
So first, I want to say, Tim, you did an amazing job.
Oh, thanks, bro.
Overcoming your fear doing the mass stuff. I mean, that's fantastic that you were able to get back in the water today and finish and get certified. So congrats to you, brother.
Yes, thank you.
So we're down there doing our exercises. The guy's banging on his thing and then doing this. I had no idea what this meant.
Oh yeah, that's sharp.
I had no idea what this meant. So I'm like, what is this guy doing? And then all of a sudden I turn around and the shark is literally right there in Tim's face. Like, it was more closer to Tim and me. And I was like, yeah, I'm lucky it's not near me.
Was it really that close to me?
Well, I mean, it's a shark, so I probably imagined that it was
I
closer than what it was.
Right.
But it circled around us. So I was like, the instructor was trying to explain what was going on, and I couldn't have any of that.
How big do you guys think the shark was? It was like,
6 foot.
You think 6 feet?
Was it?
6.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But did you guys just have one?
I just saw the one.
Oh yeah, we had 3 or 4 like follow us for a while and like around us, and kept going. Yeah.
So have you ever had that happen?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you guys are used to this. This was like literally, I was like, first of all, well, I'll just basically I'm under there trying to get these skills and I'm already weirdly anxious. And I just thought to myself, like, I almost had to make it into like imagination. Like, I had to be like, that's just fake.
Absolutely.
I had to go into that's just fake.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't take another thing. So I just said that's like just a fucking figment of
It's not real.
Yeah.
It's not real.
Yeah.
It's not real. It's a dream.
What blew my mind was just going deep, and then all of a sudden you guys took me through a cave or a hole, and I was like, I couldn't explain or describe how I felt down there. I didn't know I was going to feel like that.
Yeah.
I'm just so grateful that I was invited to this trip, and I had the opportunity to start a goal, which take the pool, take the test, and then fly down here, because I almost didn't come because of all the storms we had and the new process we were developing. But I'm so glad that I came, because getting closer to you, I've gotten closer to every guy here to network with, and it's just an amazing feeling. I mean,
I got great.
If you don't have
tons of gratefulness too right now. And I mean, like, it's been an amazing trip. Food's been really good.
Shout out to Ernie.
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
culture,
Ernie's Kitchen.
You guys should come on the next one. But also, like, I don't know. I was eating that food dinner. I'm like, oh my god! I just had like literally like I can say I'm grateful.
Yeah.
For that, but like just that like overwhelming sense of gratefulness. Definitely the beautiful, what would you call those, caves or underneath the
No, they're just swim throughs.
swim
Yeah.
under coral.
Yeah.
And it felt like it's the weirdest part for me as a first time diver, the tight spaces, but feeling like starting to feel control of like the breath.
Yeah.
And to go down a little bit.
Yeah.
It felt like powerful to be able to go into these tight spaces, like fairly tight.
No, they were tight. Yeah, a couple of them are tight.
That was cool, man.
Yeah.
That was very cool.
It was
and I'm
good.
like, I got like, man, it feels like definitely a little bit of
No, it was majestic.
thank you to the higher power and whatnot, because I feel like just a lot of very cool things, like the relationship stuff.
The coolest part of today was that we weren't supposed to go there.
Okay.
Right. So that was the coolest part of today, was because where we went today was like my favorite 2 dive sites, like anywhere, and specifically definitely here, my favorite 2 places to go, like on the entire island. But we weren't supposed to go there. We were supposed to go around the other corner and take the regular boat that we normally take to go somewhere else. And the weather dictated that we couldn't do that. And thank God we have the amazing crew and staff that are helping us down here, who are my family and friends. And they were like, we're going to figure it out. And they went and got another dive company to give us a boat to be able to go out east, right? Which gave us the ability to go to those places today, right? And not that wherever we would have went wouldn't have been amazing as well, right? But that place is like that place is magical for me. So like being able to do that was like just a big deal.
I want to pass out this mic soon, so you stay close. You stay close and come up here and say it. But I just want to throw out like I don't even know how to describe how much fear I had, and I feel like it's all the more magical because like when I have fear.
Yes.
And I wasn't like being irresponsible pushing through, but like just knowing that we're capable of doing that. Many people have done this before, etc. And then to see the shark, and it feels like it's story, man. It's a badass story.
Oh yeah.
And like life, what is it? It's just so much better when we get these badass stories, and experiences.
Badass people too.
Badass people, badass stories, and like being able to, experiences kind of change you. And I know that I'm a noob here on this particular thing, scuba diving, but like I feel changed.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I
absolutely.
feel really, really grateful to honestly, the instructor. The
Yeah.
instructor stayed with me. I was trying to go back up, and
fantastic guy.
he held me and he said, dude, like essentially he didn't say it because he's underwater, but he's like basically, dude, you're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Just breathe. And I slowed down. And then I'm just so happy that he didn't let me go back up.
So here's my question to all the guys that got certified today is, after you're done, you've got your open water card, you can go back, take classes, get better, learn more, whatever. But will you now want to do this again?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to see after. I'm definitely excited about tomorrow for sure.
Yeah.
And I think they'll probably solidify it. I
Yeah.
think the tests, it's the tests.
The tests are hard,
You don't know.
but
that,
they're meant to be hard,
yeah,
right? Like
supposed
they're
be
meant to be
so that
hard.
You don't.
Because
your life.
diving's easy.
It's your life on the
Right?
line. That's why they're
Yeah,
hard.
diving's easy, right? But now you have the training, so that if something happens, did you see George fucking with Jamie at the end?
No.
He was just walking up to him and he ripped his fucking mask off
Yeah.
and just swam away, and then he knocked his fucking regulator out of his mouth.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like that's just what they do, right? Because they're just having fun, but they fall back on the training immediately, and they know exactly what to do because it was hard. So then when you're actually doing it,
Yeah.
it's easy,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Absolutely. I just want to say I do think that hardness made it even cooler when I hit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tap you in.
How was that breath work this morning?
Oh, amazing. Yeah, I'm excited about doing some more tomorrow.
All right, we'll introduce the new guys. So, all right, let's let David sit down. So we've got sitting here now, we've got Damon. Is it Founts? Fonts. Okay. Oh, is it French?
Yes.
Is it?
No.
No. Okay. It sounds French now. You go to Target. Super glad that you're here. I'm excited for you to come out tomorrow. We had a little case of the C6. And so we tapped out today, and we're just going to be honest about that. But I'm super glad that you actually did, because now you're going to be able to come back full strength and finish strong tomorrow. I'm super, super excited for you to come out.
Not have expected that.
Nah. For a guy that owns a boat.
I wouldn't say that it's been a difficult thing for me to come on an adventure like this or go out and scuba dive or go out and get on boats or motorcycles, whatever it is, high intensity experiences, and to be a part of the group and to share myself openly and be vulnerable with men that I don't know is probably the bigger challenge for me.
There you go.
So coming to this event and meeting new people and then having to say, you know what, I don't feel comfortable going out and being sick on a boat twice in the same day to a gentleman who I respect and who's out there and who's doing it. And I missed being with the guys. I was one of the newbies. I was one of the few that were coming to get their certification here and get my open water, and God willing, tomorrow that will work. But I missed being there with the team, missing out on that energy and being together as a group. I ended up having a great interaction with other men here.
Yep.
Got a chance to spend time with some of the other guys that were back here, and then open up to Mike and really share some, intimate, real, pretty genuine sides of myself that I wouldn't have gotten if I hadn't gotten sick yesterday. So to know what the plan is all the time, I went with my gut.
Yep.
And
you got exactly what you needed today.
Right.
And I fucking love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And then our next guest, we have Woody Casey. Woody, what's cool about this is like, we didn't know each other. What? Yeah.
Yeah. We met when we talked to him the first time, IRE.
Yeah.
Or was it DoorCon?
Yeah. DoorCon. Yeah.
Yeah. We were introduced, Morgan introduced us briefly at RoofCon. And then I talked to you at,
and I have to take your word for that.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
That was an amazing event, and we got to reconnect with a lot of people while we were there. But I always like it when a friend of mine introduces me to somebody else and says, "Hey, this is somebody you need to know."
Yeah.
And she mentioned you scuba dive.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I sought you out at DoorCon.
Yep.
Was to just talk to you about scuba diving a little bit.
Yeah. And hit it off and join the group and have been an integral part of the group. I got to say, like, that's been the cool thing too, is that like not everybody here is part of our coaching group and everything. About half are, half aren't. But I think that has been a neat thing that's happened while we're here too, right? Because we get to spend some time together. And so when we're on the calls, it's a little more personal.
Yeah, half these guys are just faces in a Zoom screen.
Right.
Till now.
Right. And I think that just makes it even more powerful, right? And like, I know everybody personally, and I have hung out with everybody, right? But like, we haven't as a collective unit. And I think that's been really cool.
You brought that together with us. I didn't know anybody else.
Right.
But trusting that you would organize a group that people would be.
And that was what I was saying that first night. Like, thank you for trusting me, because like, I'm the first guy to not show up to something if I don't fucking know people, because like, I don't really like getting to know new people. I'm not real good at it. Right. Like, I'm just not.
I can honestly say I didn't care who was here. I was just.
I know you didn't. Yeah. I knew you and Rick didn't give a fuck. You're getting wet, so you were fine. Yeah, and I get that, and I appreciate that. I wasn't worried about. I wasn't worried about you too, but yeah, but I think that part of it's been really neat, and I appreciate that. Like, that means a lot to me. And David Daniel, everybody, like David, I'm super proud of you just being here. And I know that you had some health stuff that made it so that you couldn't do the dive. And even though you did all the classes and everything, right? Like you passed and whatever. But like, you still showed up because you wanted to be able to connect with other people. And that was really powerful to me, because like, I wouldn't have been pissed at you at all if you'd have been like, dude, I'm out, whatever. I'm super, super grateful that you did take the leap and showed up and said, you know what, I'm going to show up and I'm going to get out of it exactly what I need to get out of it. Right. And you have done that. Right. And we still got another day and another night. Right. But you have done that. And I commend you for that. Like, that's awesome, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've just really appreciated all the camaraderie we've had here, and getting to know Joe. Met him on an airplane, or met him on the plane there in Fort Lauderdale, and we flew down together, instantly hit it off. Found out we have connections that we didn't even know.
Right.
And it's just amazing every time I go to one of these events or one of these. But
on how tight knit of a circle
Yeah.
this
This is how we grow.
Well,
Right.
And you ended up chasing stingrays in the ocean as it was today anyway.
Yeah,
Just-
I took a walk just to kind of clear my mind and kind of just unwind and just forget about everything. And well, yeah, walked up, seen 3 stingrays, sea turtle, big old shells.
Conch shells.
Yeah, I found
Yeah.
a couple of nice conch shells and souvenirs to bring home. But I've had an awesome time and looking forward to tomorrow. Going out on a boat, whether I'm diving or not, I'm going to support my brothers.
Love that. This has been amazing. Who else? What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? It's your show. I mean, how did I become the host here? I got my own show. I think Woody just wanted to dive. I don't think he really gives a fuck about anybody.
So I'm in a roofing business adjacent. We're not in
Right.
the roofing industry, but I've grown in the roofing community since we started dealing with roofing companies about 6 years ago. I've had quite an amazing journey. Just the camaraderie. I get more support. And I've talked to friends of mine in the roofing industry. I get more support, more love from guys that I've barely met in the roofing industry than guys I've known for almost 30 years in my own industry. So, if somebody says, hey, you want to go do something roofing related, I'm in because every industry has its good people and its bad people. And I have been very blessed in the roofing industry that I have met the caliber of people that I get to surround myself with inside the industry. So, and when somebody introduces me to somebody, I'm a relationship guy.
100%.
And I'm one of those that, look, I'll glob on. I'll be clingy. Hey, you want to take me where you're going to go? I'll go with you. I don't care if it's a first time for you and a first time for me. I'll go with you. I'm not going to do it by myself, but I'll go with somebody. So you invite me to do this. I was blown away. And I hope I bring value to
For sure.
me being here. But even if I don't, I like Rick said, watching these young guys, young in the scuba sport, come in and getting a chance to tell about my experiences. I've been scuba diving for a long time, and I've been all over the world, and I've been very blessed to where the places I've been, and being able to share some of the amazing wonders and give these guys stuff to look forward to. Stuff to, hey, look, these are places you won't hear from or hear about unless you're in a scuba environment. And the things that you can see that's underwater that you'll never ever see in a picture book. You're never going to see it on TV, but you can get there. There's history. There's so much life underwater that even in an aquarium you don't see it all. And the colors and the animals, the fish that are down there, it's so different when you're in their environment.
Yep, I was just going to say that.
Walking through an aquarium.
Yep.
So
Very well said.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good because Eric, you made a comment the other day, like something about like getting close to God. And that was something that went through my mind today. I got out and Brad Whitlock, my GAF TM, he's the one that gave me the hookup where to get my certification. And he's into it. But you made, I said to him, I texted him, I never felt so close to God down there. I mean,
is that because you thought you were going to die, or
it may have had something to do with it. I prayed a lot
coming
today.
home, Lord.
I really did. I prayed a lot today. But and he said he made the comment like when you're down there, like nothing else matters.
right?
No matter like what stress in your life or adversity, like you're solely focused on like what's going on down there.
Yep.
Whether you're checking on your buddy behind you, like where are they at, or there's fish coming and there's cool shit on the ground and there's cool shit growing on the wall and stuff like that. And we were going through those, those little trails through the coral reefs and stuff like that. Like there was nothing else going through my mind. Nothing.
Because there can't be.
Right.
There can't be. Like you need to shut it off.
You're focused in the moment.
Yeah.
It's one of those few times in your life where you can be completely in a moment.
You're not worried about what's going on land. You're not worrying about what's going on at work. You're not worrying about any of that shit. Now you might get up off the boat and I watch everybody and everybody goes and grabs their fucking phone and, Like we should actually make a rule tomorrow that nobody can bring their fucking phone on the boat, right? Or leave them in the cars. But you don't have the time to worry about any of that shit when you're down there, because you have to be focusing on exactly what you're doing. And it puts you in a different state of mind that I think is extremely valuable. And if we can harness that, right? If we can harness that and bring that back to our real life, right? And be able to be self-aware enough to implement that into our real life on occasion, imagine the growth that you can have then as well, right? And be like, oh, let's just imagine I'm scuba diving. Like I can do it then. Why can't I fucking do it now?
Right. Like to put yourself in, like, I don't know if it's like a Zen state or whatever that is, but to learn how to remove all those things that are going, like you said, apply this in our daily lives, right? Like, so when I go back to work on Monday, if I can put myself back in that place, right, and block out, I think we talked a little bit about this last night, being able to like, Joe Huffman was talking about Huffman. What do I call him?
Huffman.
Like
maybe that's the accent again.
Could be.
Okay.
I never know. Oberon.
Oh, we aren't even gonna. I'm never.
Okay.
Dude. Yeah.
But to be able to remove myself, from a situation, to be able to really reflect on like what's happening, because that's what I was doing down there. It was kind of like, once I got over like, where is everything on me, and like, what does this button do, and what is this other little thing that keeps poking me in the side over here? Okay.
That was a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might have been
that was Woody's dick.
And you really start taking in like what's going on around me. Not so like once I was able to remove self from self and take in everything, like all of the outside stuff that was going on, like was really cool. Like watching you guys have fun down there and like trying to inspire me. Like, look, you can get away with some things down here. So it's not everything that's going through your mind right now. It's just,
and I got you to take your fins off finally.
Yeah.
I could tell you were like, I don't think I can do that. I can't do that. Right. I know that you did it, but I don't know if I can do that.
The fin thing was like the first day shit that I actually was able to do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that was the least of my worries, but I was like, why do I want to take my fins off down here?
Yeah. Why not?
Okay. I meant to ask you that.
Why not?
Was there?
No, you can feel your feet in the sand. Okay. You do some flips and shit, and like you take all the air out of your BC, so you sink to the bottom, so you're not floating. Mm-hmm. And so when you jump and you come, it's that feeling of weightlessness. You get more of the feeling of weightlessness than you do when you got your fins on, because you'll naturally kind of kick, or whatever to keep yourself up. But when you can't really kick, and if you're not doing this, which you shouldn't be doing anyway, but like you really feel like you're floating. It's just I don't know. It's just a really cool. It's a cool experience.
Plus I had a bunch of sand in there, so
right? Then shake them out. Yeah. But the other thing is that it makes you start feeling more comfortable, right? Like you can take stuff off. Rick told a story the other day about like when he got tied up in some netting and shit, and he finally like stopped, focus, thought about it, and was like, wait, I can just take my gear off, right? Like I can take my gear off and fucking go up and then go back down and cut it out, right? When you start to realize like you can take all of it off, right? Like I couldn't get up a swim through one time, going up through the wall one time, and I got stuck. And the guy that I was with was a skinny little fuck, and he just went right through it. And I was like, nope, I can't fucking fit. My shoulders are too big. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, what do I do? And I'm like, oh, take everything off. Right. And I took everything off, leave the fucking regulator in, slide it up, fucking swim up and put it back on. But when you're first learning, you're like, I can't take it off. This is safe. This is supposed to be on my back. Right. If I take it off, nothing's going to happen. Right. You just make sure it doesn't go away and you spit out your fucking reg, but you're fine. Right. And I think that's part of it too, is like getting comfortable with that. Right. Getting comfortable moving stuff around and like being okay with that, because then it makes the experience even that much better, I think.
Rick, tell us a little more about that story.
The story I was telling was, in all my years of diving, the only time I've really gotten into what I would consider a life-threatening situation was in 10 feet of water, believe it or not. I was in the Keys. We were diving. We were doing lobster diving. And needless to say, we were working a channel, and in channels, you get a lot of debris and stuff. So needless to say, there was a crab trap line, 1/4-inch rope that got tangled around my reg set behind my back. And, all of a sudden you're stuck. You can't move. You're like, what's going on? Okay. So then, I'm going to break it. So I'm fighting with all my might to try to break it. Well, needless to say, I couldn't break it. And the whole crux of the whole thing was I was breaking rules. I was down to 200 pounds of air. So I was bingo on air. I'm fighting. I'm panicking. I'm tied up in something. I can't get loose. And I just start panicking, trying to jerk myself loose. And finally, it just clicked. Take it off. You're in 10 feet of water. Take it off. And let, who cares? Leave the gear there. Never come back and get it if you had to. But, I took it off, went up to the top, breathed, looked down, saw what was going on, went back down, untangled it 2 seconds, grabbed it, pulled my stuff up, and swam back to the boat. But it just goes to show you that, you got to be in the moment of what you're doing. You got to realize what you're dealing with. And, there's not a lot of stuff in diving unless you're doing, technical diving, cave diving, and deep water diving and stuff like that. In recreational diving, there's not a lot of stuff that we can't fix easily underwater, and it's just think your way through it. Like I said, I've been diving for a long time and I've never had equipment failure, knock on wood, ever. So, the equipment's safe. It's only gotten safer. The computers are great. It's really a great sport for people to get into,
So what did you want to get out of this?
So for me, I'm like, what do you got? You're going diving, let's go. But also the amazing thing is because I'm in several different groups in the roofing thing, and I've been a business owner now for 15 years. I've been in business, in construction for 30 years. I'm in a family business. For me as an owner, it gets stale. You got no one you can really talk to about business. My wife's in my business, so I do talk to her. I love her very much. But, even there, to keep some of those stressors out of the relationship, you don't have somebody you can talk to. So in these kind of groups, in the groups that we're in, you get other guys that are going through the same stuff that you can talk to about what you're facing, what you're dealing with. And the other thing that I like so much is, like you said, they're always challenging it, giving me challenges to do that takes me out of my comfort zone, which I love. As an older business person, meaning older in business, if you don't have that young, vibrant crowd around you, challenging you, pushing you to go and do things, you kind of get, you get laxed in what you're attempting to do or push through and get better at. So I see all these young guys and girls doing this stuff and doing great things, doing things even beyond what I do. And it just amazes me. And just being around them to hear how they're doing it, it helps spark a fire in me to keep going and push harder and make it better for my people, mainly, for the people that I have that work for me. It's inspiring to me because so many of these young groups that I see nowadays are so much about helping their employees. It's not just about the company doing better. The company does better to help the people do better. And there's so many of these guys that are community oriented, that do things in their community to help other people. And it's really about more than just making money. Making money is a byproduct of everything else they're doing. And that's what really turns me on about being in these groups is just that much power and being around those people and getting the energy off of them to keep me going and make me different.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah. Can I tag off that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Honestly, that's really when I've been in the industry for about 28 years in commercial roofing. I'm new to being an owner, and because I wanted to be a different company, and going to my first, retreat kind of thing, and realizing, hey, I'm not the only one that does care about their people. People over profit, and sometimes it does hurt, but I know the good Lord above. That's what we're here for, to help each other, and to realize that there's other people out there that feel the same way and everything like that. That really is, changed the trajectory of what I thought was possible.
Yeah, for sure. I've watched you grow in the 12, 16 months that I've known you. one, first and foremost, getting on the podcast is definitely, I know, outside your comfort zone. So kudos to you for that. But I've watched your business grow. I've watched your social media presence grow. I've watched all these things that you've been shown. I've watched you implement these things. And Rick, to kind of tag off of what both of you guys were saying is, you know, when I first got into business, my ulterior motives were totally not what they are today. My ulterior motive is that I had a resentment. But David actually wrote a book about me. No, I'm just kidding. But his second book that he just written is a really good book. But I didn't realize that's what I was doing. I almost killed myself because I was trying to bury somebody else. And then right around 2011, like I had a paradigm shift happen where it was like, okay, after that moment, you know, where it almost killed me because I was working myself to death. I had a great team, but I didn't really know how to delegate things. They were outside my door waiting for me to direct them in the direction that they were supposed to go for the day. Like, so basically I was teaching them, training them, and the culture was great. It just wasn't the culture that I have today and the things that I've learned because of hanging out with guys like you and attending the Revolt retreat, hanging out with Erico. I met him 7 years ago, watching, you know, Claudio do his thing and listening to him and being inspired by him and Tim Brown. It's like these people that I started to gravitate towards started to really open my eyes to how to really level up and not just level me up. I'm coming here so I can take this back home and not just implement it in my life, but I can show my other team because I know some of our team members are watching this and they're watching me. Like, hopefully I'm inspiring them, you know, and plus now they're gaining faith in me. So if the shit starts to hit the fan, they're like, well, we've already seen him go through a lot of things, right? So why can't we push through this too? But to be able to empower other people. And I think that was the one key ingredient early on for me is that I didn't know how to empower other people and delegate tasks to them and give them ownership and things and giving them opportunities to create not just a job for them, but a career, right? Like this isn't a stepping stone job. This is a job. This is a career that you come to. You got 401k, you got, you know, health insurance, paid time off, all these things. And like I said, back in 2011, I had a decision to make. Am I going to keep 1099s or am I going to go W-2? Well, we decided to go W-2. And the reason why we did that was because of unemployment insurance and workers' comp insurance. I thought, man, if anybody got injured, hey, they'll be taken care of. God forbid I have to lay somebody off. They're going to be taken care of. Next mission is health insurance. I thought, how cool would it be if we could provide health insurance for people? So I shared that with the group. I was like, look, guys, if we can hit these markers, right? If we can hit every single one of these KPIs, we'll be able to get health insurance in here. We all work together collaboratively. Like if we hit this mark, man, we'll get it. Okay. Got that. Got health insurance. Things got better. More people. I started to attract better quality of people, especially by going W-2. Right. I thought it was going to be the worst thing ever. I thought it was going to be the worst thing for them. Nobody was going to want to do this. Well, they liked it. They were paying their own taxes. Some of them owed tax. Like, hey, just let us take that burden off your chest. Gave them health insurance. And then the next milestone of my career was as a 401k. I thought, how cool would it be if we were in business long enough, by the grace of God, that somebody would be able to retire from here, like a good career, 6-figure career, you know, whether it be sales, whether it be administration, whether it be whatever it is, right? Because they're creating their own destiny. I'm giving them that right. Years later, we started to hear about things like KPIs and getting real granular, how KPIs can create other KPIs for other departments and things like that, but how they all cohesively like work together. And then we created core values. My first core values was just words on the wall. Okay. Today, it's a full sentence, like fulfilling your fidelity. I have paragraphs describing exactly what fulfilling your fidelity means. Okay. So now what I've done is I've created like these set of rules that basically, as long as you stay within these set of rules, I don't give a shit what decision you make. As long as it stays within us, if it doesn't injure us, doesn't injure you, distribution, manufacturing, our community. That limited the exposure, the liability. right? Like minimize the mistakes that could be made. Now, I'm not saying we can't make mistakes, because this can go down a whole nother rabbit hole, that we've created a why atmosphere. My whole entire childhood, I was told to shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck. I couldn't ask why. They'd shut up, be quiet. School, all through school, I was afraid to raise my hand. So we've created what's called a why atmosphere. We want you to ask why, right? And we also need you to make mistakes. Without mistakes, you can't get seasoned. You can't gain that experience. God knows I've made tons of mistakes. And without those mistakes, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So we've created a why atmosphere and room for error. And it's like, okay, what did we learn from this? What happened? And stay about 2.3 seconds in the issue, and then the rest of it's solution. Okay, now that just created another SOP. That just created another KPI. Thank you for growing the business.
Yeah. About the why, having a why availability for people to ask why. When you've been in business a long time, because I run a 52-year company that's been around for 52 years. When they ask why to me, it makes me think, why? Why are we doing it that way? Why aren't we doing it differently? Because after you do something for so long, you just do it that way. You cut the end off the ham because grandma cut the end off the ham. You don't ask why, so it's great to have people challenge what you're doing, because it's going to make you better, because you're evolving with what's happening in society. You're evolving with what's happening in the industry, and to get challenged, it is a good thing. I mean, for me, it is. And that's, part of the thing. Having that why in there is letting me not only answer them, but it lets me figure out, really, why are we doing it that way? To get a better outcome for the company.
Yeah, because we can't see around all the corners.
Yeah.
Right. We need to surround ourselves around people that are much smarter than us in certain aspects of the business, or things that I don't have time. I need to know that the ball is still moving down the court when my back's turned. When we're here deep sea diving, I have to make sure that decisions are being made, that I trust the decisions that are being made. Hell, there's meetings that are being held on a daily basis that I don't even know about in my own company today. And to be able to let go of that much control, that is when we started to grow. When I let go, the moment I started to let go, we started to just explode. You know what I mean? But vetting those people, right? And I heard Mike and a bunch of other people talk about this for years, is, our core values, we hire based upon them and we fire based upon them. I really don't give a shit what you know. Who are you as an individual, a human being, and what is your goal in life, and how can we get you there? That's what we hire based upon. Yes, we need people that are skilled in certain aspects of things, like CFOs and COOs, CEOs, and people that have been there and have done that can bring something to the table, but they also have to live by the core values.
Yeah. As a new business owner, you're absolutely right. Like, I almost didn't come here because I thought I had to run the whole team. In the past couple of weeks, I've hired a consultant to come in. I thought we were doing good because we're pulling in a couple million already at the beginning of the month. And then she came in and completely changed my world. Like, I didn't have certain departments that I needed to have. I didn't have certain people in the position. It was just me and 3 other people. Now I have a sales manager. I have a bookkeeper now, and I have a office manager now that runs the office. So for me to be here, it was very hard to get here, like you were saying. So it's been great to be able to call them and check on them, and everything's running smooth. It makes me feel really good as a owner, putting in that work the last couple of weeks. Even coming here today is just a little, scary, getting down here and just relieving all that duty to someone else besides yourself. So I am just very much appreciated to be around you guys.
Me too.
Yeah.
When you're fighting the battles, on a daily basis, you're doing the best you can, and you're doing good, and you're doing good. But it's hard to reset your mind to go, but we can do better. It's hard to challenge yourself to do better, and bringing in a consultant is to help you do better.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they can see things that you don't even think about in your own business. Your business inside and out, but a second set of eyes looking at it can open the doors to who knows what. So it's always interesting to that no matter how hard we put our efforts into getting our business to where we get it, it can be better. And we just have to be open to let that happen.
Yeah, I would have never done that if I wouldn't have joined Revolt and then meeting you guys and running into Eric and then joining this men's group here. Eric, as my coach, he's got me do things I've never would have thought of doing. Like, I don't drink anymore. I don't smoke anymore, so, and the mindset I have now is a lot more hungrier than what I was. I thought I was at my top of my best level, but I was absolutely wrong. Being here with you guys shows me that I mean, you guys hold me accountable for my actions. I mean, Eric will always call me out, for when I say some dumb shit on the phone or when we're going through our session. So I enjoy being called out because my whole life I just did everything that I wanted. I was always right. I never had that mindset to where just, sit back, listen, take advice. I always had the advice, you know what I mean? I was always the guy that would always try to one up and do that. So, these past couple of years has just been a complete world change to me, so.
No doubt. No doubt. What do you?
My biggest thing that I've struggled with is control. When you run your own company, you run your own business for a long time, which I have, and it's been a fairly successful but small company. I could control everything, information, workflow, everything. And in order to grow, I had to give that up. And that's my biggest problem, and people around me know that. So the last few years, I have worked really, really hard not to be into the day-to-day, to let the team that I have deal with 90% of the stuff that's out there, which gives me the freedom to come do this. But we're in a growth period in our company right now, and the biggest thing that I've always struggled with is sales. I'm not a sales guy. I'll never be a door-to-door guy. I'll never be a walk up to people and talk about my stuff. If you're interested, great, I can talk to you. But for me to sell it, it's not my strength. And this year, my motto for this year was to be comfortable being uncomfortable. So this year, I went to Door Con. I joined Sam Taggart's circle. I've hired a sales manager. I have pushed myself. I even went out doors with the guys we just hired. Spent half a day with them doing it. I knocked the very first door. She came to the door, pointed really nastily at her no soliciting sign. So it was a failure for me, but it was a good learning experience for them. But I did it because I wanted to show them my thing. Because I've never asked anybody in my business to ever do anything I couldn't do myself. And this is the year that I'm struggling to hire people to do something I'm not good at. So that's, for me, it's that and learning to, like Ty said, to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
So that's why coming around you guys and being a part of groups like this, I do a lot more learning than I do giving. I come to these because I get to sit around and watch all you successful people, and I get to take notes and learn and pick brains. And even though I'm not in the same industry, there's a lot of business. And running my business and running a business, your business, everybody deals with hiring, firing, core values. We didn't have core values until a couple of years ago. I got that from the roofing company about core values. I didn't know I needed to have core values. I never thought about it before, but it makes a difference. Mm-hmm. In my industry, I've been in my industry almost 30 years, 29 years now, and we do painless dairy farm. So we travel all the United States. I've been in 4 countries working. But it's amazing to me that the guys that are the closest guys to me in relationships in my business are guys who are similar to me, who have the same values as I do. We work hard because we don't spend our time in bars. We rarely ever drink. We're not out partying every night. We worked there years ago. It's you work, you go back to your room, you go to bed, you go to bed again. 7 days a week for months on end because we want to go home. We want a home life. We want that outside value, not just the business value. I'm rambling, so somebody else can take over because I'll keep talking.
I just want to piggyback just real quick. Well, I had second thoughts on, because right now we've had an amazing second quarter and we're busy as we can be, but I didn't. And I had one of my key employees basically come up to me and basically put his arm on me, pray for me on the safe travels, everything we're doing. And I said, hey, all you're going to do is bring back more knowledge to give us. Go out there, have fun, learn, and bring it back.
So, how many times you been hit by lightning?
Only 3.
How many times you been picked up in a tornado and moved around?
Twice.
I just wanted to point that out because I've met you and you're an amazing guy. And we talk about God a little bit. Not that it's we're that, but you talk about there's 5 times where if God wanted you not to be here anymore, he could take you.
Mm-hmm.
You're still here for a reason.
Yep.
So,
Amen to that.
Surely believe that.
So we got a couple minutes, man. Why don't you take us out and bring this all down to us?
Like I've looked under the hoods of a lot of companies, and I think what so many people miss is like the highlight reel of social media and the highlight reel of the events and the gross revenue flexes. And when you get around real people doing real stuff, you realize everybody's struggling with the same shit you're struggling with. You realize everybody has the same fears. Everybody has the same doubts. Everybody understands the power of core values or the lack thereof. And, you know, I lost a little bit of the fear of taking on bigger clients because over the years, like everybody deals with the same shit. It's the same process, the same challenges, the same issues. Doesn't matter if you're doing 3 million, 30 million, or 300 million. You got cash flow issues, and you got payroll issues, and you got shit going on because we're really good as business owners of like pushing the boundaries by investing aggressively, right? We want certain things, we need certain things, and everybody deals with different stuff. But I think coming to events like this and being around people who like you can look at like, man, like 52 years and like 8 figures and like, man, that dude must have it all figured out. Like he must have it easy. When I get there, you know, that almost that really ugly mindset. Like when I get there, everything will be easier. When I get that client, when I hit 10 million, when I get that higher, once that shows up, like this fabricated future destination of that's when everything will get easier. And then the problem with that is you'll get there. It won't be easier. And then you'll be, I must be doing something wrong. And you start to devalue yourself. You start to tear yourself down. You start to beat yourself up as if you are the problem because I don't have it as easy as I thought you had it. Like you, like, oh man, like it must be so easy to do a podcast. Fuck you, bro. Like doing podcasts is hard. And so I think just getting around people and realizing like hearing somebody you look up to struggle with the same things you struggle with helps reassure you that you're on the right path. You know, some of the best lessons I've heard at events is hearing that I am actually doing everything right. Like I am actually doing a good job and it is actually supposed to be hard. And, you know, that's some of the most reassuring and some of the most fruitful conversations I've had is with people like saying things that they did to become successful. I can say, I'm doing that. And which means that I can be more patient. I can settle into the groove. I can settle into the momentum and it's okay. And so I think more people need to get around people they look up to because they'd realize they're not as far behind as they think they are. And I think they get some confidence that they're doing some good things to stay the course. I think when you get to a lot of these events, you get around people like celebrating the wrong things. You tend to believe you're doing something wrong and then you pivot. Or you try something different, like that different thing. And you don't give something a chance to actually work. You know, it takes a long time. Like I tell everybody, it's going to take longer, cost more, and be harder than you could possibly imagine. And so if you can't imagine it and it gets harder than you thought it was going to be, then you pivot. And like that's when it really gets hard because you're constantly starting over and you're constantly starting new things and you're getting excited about the new fancy thing. And then you realize, oh, this one got hard too. So let me pivot again. And like that just becomes this never ending cycle of implement, analyze, implement, analyze, implement, analyze, implement, analyze. You never actually adjust it to be better for you. And it wears your ass out, man. It absolutely does. And I see so many people, you can see it at events, like you've seen it. Like I know we all have like that sunken eye, defeated, low energy, depressed, anxious, lost, hopeless, because like they just don't know what to do next because they keep thinking they have to do something different. Just stick to the damn game plan, man. Y'all been doing the same thing the same way on the same mission for 6 years. Like literally, like people talk about, like I've been doing the same thing, the same way, with the same intention, with the same purpose, the same excitement for 6 years, and I'm just like finally getting a leadership team in place. And like, it takes time, it takes money, it takes heartache, it takes pain, it takes lost revenue, it takes lost relationships, it takes separation from yourself. You have to become like a part of you needs to die to accomplish that next thing. And like that's the part that no one sees. No one's going to see what I went through behind closed doors. No one see what you went through, what all of us went through to accomplish what we have. No one sees that part. They see the celebrations, they see the excitement, they see their accolades, they see the revenue, they see the new trucks that someone else just got on their 5th SBA loan. Like they don't know it. They just think that everybody's got it figured out, and they don't. And if more people just settle into their own fucking game plan and just accepted that it's going to be fucking hard, and don't give up, and don't pivot, and don't change, and just stay consistent. Don't add all the other extra fucking services because, man, solar be easier than roofing. Fuck you. Like, right? Like, man, those solar guys got it figured out. No, they don't. No, they don't. And it's just, I feel like my heart hurts for small business owners who struggle not recognizing, giving themselves credit for the thing they are doing well. And my heart hurts for those guys because I see it and they feel so lost and hopeless and alone, and like a failure to their family, a failure to their business, a failure to their employees. And like, that'll kill them, man. Like legit, that'll kill them. And anything I can do to put out a piece of content or shake a man's hand or look him in the eyes and say, you're doing a good job. Because there's not a lot of people doing that right now. Especially in men. We got the bravado and the flex and the ego. And like, I deleted social media from my phone like 5 weeks ago. Completely. Get off social media for 5 days. Like, don't scroll it. Give it 5 days. I challenge you. And then you'll realize how much you actually have going on for yourself. Because all the comparative analysis goes away. And like, honestly, then you get back on, it's like, you just know it's a bunch of bullshit. And like, I told you what, a week or two ago, he was like, can you share? I can't remember how we got there. Like, can you look at this? I'm like, I can't. Like, I literally deleted it from my phone and blocked it from my browser. I like, social media is a tool for me, and I can do it from my computer as a business tool. And like, I don't give a fuck what anybody else is doing. Because like, I'm winning my way, at my speed, at my risk analysis, at my comfort zone. Like, I'm just far enough outside my comfort zone. Like, I would challenge anybody to come look at me and tell me I can do it better. I would challenge anybody. And same for anybody here. Like, you're doing it your way for your reason. Like, when people say that, like, my business is different. No, your market's not different. Your business ain't different. What you want from your business is different. The only thing that makes one business different from another is what the leader wants from it. It's a fucking machine. Solve a problem for $1, get paid, move on to the next problem solved. That's what we do for business. Your market ain't different, your clients ain't different, your product ain't different, your service ain't different, your people ain't different. The only thing that's different is what you want from it as a leader. Because all business is a machine to spit out an outcome. When you figure that out, if the outcome's the only thing that matters, living the life you want, like paying yourself and like providing for yourself, and like, that's all the business is. It's input and an output. Problem solving for outcome. Dude. You fire people faster. You pay yourself sooner. You charge more. You raise your prices right now if it was all about the outcome. That's all business is. It's just, I hate seeing guys struggle. When you get around groups like this and events like this, and you come in with no expectation outside of, I'm going to learn something because my heart's going to be open, my mind's going to be open, my ego's going to be down. I got nothing to prove to nobody. You realize you're not as far behind as you think you are. You're not as off track as you think you are. You don't struggle with things. You're the only one. And it gives you so much reassurance to keep fighting. That's what I love about it. Especially small events like this where like, we're all fucking tired. Like we all broke to an extent. We all got money issues and cash flow issues and payroll issues and doubt issues and scarcity issues. And you hear people talking about it, like, I didn't realize he dealt with that. Like somehow you're the only one. Getting around cool people makes the journey a lot easier.
Well said.
Man, Mike.
That was good. When you were talking, I'm guilty of judging, other people's outsides to my insides. And that's what social media has really done to us. You know what I mean? Or we go to these shows and these guys are driving up in their new trucks and stuff like that. And, there's really no humility there. And unless you've lost everything and have been able to build it back, it's real hard to be humble, right? And not to forget where you come from. And I think that's why, especially in the roofing industry, like there's so many of us that go out of business in like the first 4 years. And business in general, I think 90% of businesses go out of business in the first 10 years. 90%. Yeah. At least 90% of us. Right. And going back to what we were talking about, it's like, empowering other people, within your business, it starts here first. If you're insecure, if you're neurotic and paranoid and all those things, that drinking or not sleeping well or not eating well, not exercising, not going to church, or whatever it is that you got to do to find spirituality and become okay with you, it's never going to happen. You're never going to be able to delegate and trust other people. You're going to continuously take it back for them. You're going to critique everything that they do. You're going to be paranoid to hire somebody that might be better than you in certain areas because your ego gets in the way. You become very prideful. I've been there. I've been on both spectrums of that. I've had people around me, and it's like, and I've caught myself like, oh my God, I'm being that guy. I'm taking the power away from them. I sold them on this dream. Now all of a sudden they come to work for me, and it's like, now I want to just break them down. You know what I mean? And belittle them and not make them feel worthy. And it's like, I see what I do to people today. I see how I impact them negatively and positively today. And I choose that positive route. I mean, that's what it's all about. That's where the silver bullet is. Everybody wants to know how to become successful in business. Well, remove yourself. And what I mean by that is this isn't about us. Business is not about us. It's about those that you bring into your organization, right? Because it's your people first, not customers. The customer's not always right. Okay. And I ran business that way. I've had my people go through shit over having horrible clients. Our people come first, right? And when our people come first, it seems like the culture itself, we attract good people, right? We very rarely do we have to recruit. Like there's a waiting list, not arrogantly, but it doesn't take us much time to be able to recruit good people at our organization. People want to come work for us. They see what we have going on. They see our community events, and it's about impacting your local communities, not just your team, but your team building big events for your local communities. And if you want to do something big, you can't do it by yourself. You got to create an army of people, right? That you can go out and actually impact your local communities, right? And we impact, not just the company, not just the community, but the industry, our distribution, and our manufacturing. By how we conduct business today. We have to leave this better than the way we found it. Mm. I know when I got into the roofing industry 30 some years ago, like there was a bad name for us. And this is why I gravitated to it. I'm guilty of it. I had nowhere else I could go. Nobody else would hire me. Right. But over time of, trials and tribulations and ebbs and flows and being treated poorly by working for somebody else and, watching my parents go through their business, because business is business. My family's owned a restaurant bar for 41 years. So I grew up in that. My dad is a carpenter secondarily. And that's where I got hopefully my mechanical skills from. But I've watched them, I've worked for, and I just did the exact opposite. I didn't want to be treated the way that I was treated when I worked for other people, and I think that was probably one of the hardest and biggest lessons that I've learned for myself I wanted to treat people better than the way that I was treated. I wanted this to be a career. I wanted this to be an opportunity to change people's lives, and not just theirs, but their families' lives. And when you look at it like that, remove yourself from it and look just a little bit further than this and bring them on as your responsibility. Now, every single person that comes in your organization is now your responsibility, not just them, but their wife or their husband, their children, their grandchildren are now your responsibility. And when you have that as a motivational factor Failure is not an option. It is not an option. This goes way beyond me, way beyond my own family. And I've taken that to the other extreme too, where I've put my own family in jeopardy because I've looked out for other people so much too. So you got to watch that aspect of it too. And Mike's right, man. There's things that I still struggle with, whether it's insecurity, financial things, because I'm not a gambler, but I do gamble in business. I invest very aggressively. I do have long-term investments, but I also, I like that here and now too, you know, and we'll push money over here. I'll invest heavy over there. I'm still learning too. I didn't get a bachelor's degree in finances. I didn't graduate, you know, from Harvard or anything like that. So going back to surrounding ourselves around groups of people like this, bringing people into our organization that are smarter than us. And Joe, I know that you can wrap this up for us. Tie this all together for us here, man.
To what we were just talking about,
All of it.
I don't have
Give
a
it
lot
back.
to add.
Give it to
You guys
Mike.
Said it. It was you guys said it spot on. It was it was perfect.
It was.
Truly, I completely agree with what you're saying as far as that danger of coming in and feeling like as soon as I get to here, that was 15 years of my life. Thinking as soon as I get this, it's going to be easy and it's going to be good. Yeah, so I applaud you. I agree with everything you're saying and yours.
So it's
Good podcast. Jumped in right at the end. I wish I had more to add, but you guys nailed it.
Okay.
So
Well, you look sexy sitting there. So
it's my gray hair, right?
Love it.
I wish I could say more, but what you mentioned about being, I see it a lot in other people. Just exactly what you described with leaders of all levels, owners all the way down, letting their insecurities drive them to squash really talented people. And I think that that's one weakness that I have never really had for whatever reason. I just don't care and have always strove to work with the absolute most talented people. It actually has consistently made me feel better when somehow this insanely intelligent person like somehow come to chose to work with me. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Why is this person working with me right now? He is clearly more intelligent. That actually made me feel good. I've never really questioned it. I have wondered, but I've never questioned it. I've just taken it and been grateful for it. And that's where, that's all I've really done.
yeah, we have to be smart enough to know that we need to surround ourselves around smarter.
Yeah, there you go. That's a piece of advice. You know where it came from? I saw a guy say one time, business is easy. All you got to do is hire people that are smarter and better looking than you.
There you go.
And I saw that and went, I got this fucking licked.
No doubt. Well, thank you everybody for participating in this. Eric, thank you for hosting this.
Amen to that. We get a round of applause for Eric. Epic week right here. Oh yes. Fantastic.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you guys for tuning in and staying around as long as you did and as late as it is. And next week, episode 228, I can't remember who our guest is next week, but we will be back on our normal 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Till then, take care of each other, and we will see you next week.